no taxes are deducted if the capital gains do not exceed a specific amount. This amount is called the Sparerpauschbetrag or saver's allowance. In this video, I will explain what this saver's allowance is and how much profit can you get without paying taxes on your investment profits. I will also talk about Freistellungsauftrag, how to set it up on Trade Republic and Scalable Capital, and the non-assessment certificate where banks or brokers do not withhold any taxes on capital income. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ahsan, I'm a researcher, and on this channel we discuss business and personal finance in Germany. Private investors can set up an exemption order with their banks, broker, building society or insurance company in Germany and receive capital gains without deduction of withholding tax. Investment income includes interest, distributions from funds, dividends, and realized price gains from security transactions. If there is no exemption order or if the investment income is higher than the saver's allowance, your bank or German brokers automatically cut 25% withholding tax plus solidarity surcharge and, if applicable, church tax. In order to avoid unnecessary tax deductions, you should make sure that you issue an exemption order in good time. Let's discuss what is a Sparerpauschbetrag or saver's allowance. This saver's lump sum is an allowance in the German Income Tax Act that exempts capital income up to the amount of 801 euros within the framework of an individual assessment or 1602 euros for persons assessed together per year. There is some good news from 2023. The saver's allowance amount is to be increased to 1000 euros for individuals and 2000 euros for people who are assessed together. Capital gains from children are not included in the parents' savings allowance. For the accounts of minors, parents can submit a separate exemption order up to the maximum of 801 euros. This must be signed by all legal representatives. The saver's allowance is applicable on all capital gains, including interest income, gains from stock sales, and dividends. Next comes the Freistellungsauftrag or the exemption order. This exemption order is a form that is submitted to a bank or a broker to let them know the profits from this account are exempted from a withholding tax on capital gains below the saver's allowance. You can submit this exemption order to every broker or bank you are registered with. But remember that the sum of the total exemption should not exceed the allowed amount of 801 euros for individuals and 1602 euros for couples. You can have various combinations. For example, 300 euros exemption order in Trade Republic and 500 euros in Scalable Capital. Or for couples, you can double this amount and set up your exemption order as long as the total profit does not exceed the allotted amount. Let me show you how to set up an exemption order in Trade Republic and Scalable Capital. To set up an exemption order in Trade Republic, open the app and then go to Profile and then Settings. Scroll down to the tax information and select Exemption Order. Here you can add the amount you wish to have tax-free. Unfortunately, you can only set up a maximum of 801 euros even if you wish to take benefit of the 1602 euros for joint filing. The exemption order can be set up until another order is given or till the end of the year. I have set it up till I give another order, but you can select whichever option is applicable to you. Read the terms and tick confirm option and then save your settings. Now your exemption order in Trade Republic will be set up. If you're liking this video so far, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more. To set up an exemption order in Scalable Capital, again we open up the Scalable Capital app and go to Profile, then Tax Information. Select the Tax Exemption option to come to this page. Near the bottom, we can select our tax exemption. In Scalable Capital, you have the option of a single tax exemption or a joint tax exemption depending on what is applicable to you. For joint application, you will have to provide the details of your partner like their name, date of birth, tax identification number, and email address. After that, you can select the amount you want in the Freistellungsauftrag. Then you will be given an overview of the details which you can verify and set up your exemption order in Scalable Capital. It can happen that despite all your efforts and care, you have distributed the exemption orders unfavorably among different financial institutions, and therefore too much final withholding tax is paid to the tax office. In this case, you can get back the overpaid amount through your income tax return. To do this, you must fill out the income from capital asset form or anlage KAP. This is where you enter your income and taxes paid. I have described this process in detail in my How to Submit a Tax Return in Germany video here. Another way to avoid tax deductions at the source is the non-assessment certificate. But what kind of certificate is that? Where and under what conditions can you apply for this? The prerequisite for applying for a non-assessment certificate is that your total income for the year, including investment income, does not exceed the basic allowance. This would result in an income tax of €0 to be paid. A non-assessment certificate will be issued to you by your tax office upon request. It's usually issued for 3 years and makes sense if you have a high investment income on a low income that exceeds the saver's allowance. This group of people often includes, for example, children, pensioners, students, or mini jobbers. If your income or pension is so low that it does not exceed the basic tax-free allowance, including the distributed capital gains, you can apply for non-assessment certificate at the tax office. Then the bank will not deduct any withholding tax from you. The basic allowance in 2022 is €10,347 for singles and €20,694 for married couples and civil partnerships. As soon as you have received your non-assessment certificate from your tax office, you must forward it to your bank. After submission, your capital income will be paid out to you without any tax deduction. If you earn capital income from several credit institutions, each institute must receive the certificate. Setting up an exemption order means that you are on your way to collecting profits from your investments. In this video, I share my scalable capital portfolio and its current performance. So thanks for watching, bleib gesund, and I'll see you in this video.